Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Molly. Here we do sewing, crafts, fun, and a lot of crochet. I recently did my first ever craft market and I wanted to come on here and tell you all about it. If I'm looking down, I am referencing my laptop, which I have in my lap here. I have been crocheting for a little over a year and I have been sort of obsessed with the idea of selling my little plushy friends. Getting them out into the world for other people to enjoy for about that same amount of time. I've been following people who sell their crochet like Ale Crochet and Passionate Kelsey for a while too, and it just really inspired me to give it a try. I have always done various crafts and have always been told by people like you should sell the things that you make. As you know, if you follow my channel, I do a lot of sewing, and sewing was always something that I like doing for me but not so much for other people. Like, I'm happy to help out a friend or family member with some mending, but making made-to-order garments for another person who I don't have access to them and their body for fittings sounded very like scary, so I never wanted to try that. Evie's trying to get extra dinner. But I thought crochet would be the perfect way to jump in because these items are small, they don't take a long time to make, and they're easy to ship, and you don't need anybody's measurements to fit them on. They are self-contained, so thought that would be perfect. Now, I had applied to a bunch of markets, but because I didn't have any experience previous to the first one I did, I had a lot of trouble getting in. I was rejected from I think like 3 or 4. One I felt pretty good about, but their space got sold out from under them, so nobody got into that market. It was okay. I wasn't like too upset about this kind of thing. I just sort of kept on saying to myself, like, you know, if you don't get in, then you don't have to worry about buying a tent, buying a table, you know, all that kind of stuff. And if you do, then we'll tackle those things as they come along. Let's talk about the market that I did get into. So the first market that I ended up doing was a no fee to entry market, open to anyone who wanted to come and vend. It's called Cutie Fest. It started about 3 years ago in Seattle by Caitlin Fritz. I don't know Caitlin's pronouns, so I'm just going to refer to them as Caitlin or they. Basically, Caitlin had sold things a few times in a local park a few times before and invited other artists to come and join them and called it Cutie Fest. And now this is an event that they host every year. I'm gonna put links to Caitlin's website for Cutie Fest and their foundation, everything down below in the description. This is a complete non-profit. It's a very cool event that is free and open and designed to help new vendors start selling their work. So I thought this would be like the perfect opportunity to go out and try my hand at selling my little guys. So the Cutie Fest took place on Easter Sunday. It's been a minute since I've been meaning to make this video, and I was really like a little unsure leading up to it. I had set up like a table display just to see sort of what everything would look like on a table, as well as I had been making as many items as possible. Overall, for the inventory, I priced things very low because I wanted them to be accessible and just see how things went. But I made so many items, I brought about $710 worth of inventory. I have no idea how many items. I started out by making a spreadsheet so that I could keep track of all of it, but I didn't print it out and bring it with me, and I think when I do another market in the future, that's something I'm absolutely going to do, just so that I have a reference for how many things I still have, because I do have like repeat items, so I can put one thing on the table and then if he sells, then the next one can come in and take its place, and I'll still know like what I have. Had some supplies. I had 2 4-feet tables, tablecloths, some display elements, but I did have to buy a tent for this. I mean, I didn't have to, I just knew it was one that I wanted to get. I ended up picking out this tent. I really liked it because it had a pink cover. I picked the pink tent because I wanted my tent to stand out, and I figured that if I ever ended up doing a Ren Fair and vending, that it would be an easy color to turn into like a more Ren Fair looking tent as opposed to a bright white tent. Like, okay, this is the pink plushie tent. I packed up the car with the tent, the tables, all of the plushies, and went over to Kyle's house, stayed there for the evening so that we could leave early the next day. Then we headed to Seattle to set up in the park. I was really anxious on our way there. I know I had coffee and maybe a bagel, but I don't think I ate anything else because I was just like really fluttery and not sure how things were gonna go. I love doing new things, but the car ride to try the new thing is always extremely hard for me. Like, I just feel fluttery, like I'm full of butterflies and sweaty and uncomfortable. But once we got there, we got lucky, we found a really good parking spot. We set up the tent. This is what it looks like. I am really nervous about vlogging in person, and with my combined nerves about doing the market, I did not take a lot of clips. I will show you what I have here. As you can see, like, we've got all the items set up, but I'm doing a really quick just little look, and that's all I got. The day was drizzly. We were in the middle of Seattle. Seattle is well known for its rainy weather. This did not surprise me at all. I've had many an Easter Sunday that was cold and wet. It was really cute because we were across the street from a church, so we got to see all the people going into church in their like little church outfits and church hats, and it was very fun to see. There were so many people at this market. I saw people selling pottery, art prints, other crochet booths, which was very cool to see. People reselling clothes, people who just had like picnic blankets and were like, these are my little creations. And I loved that. I loved that it was all different kinds of art. Really, really nice just group to experience this first market with. And everybody was super sweet and super friendly. The first hour we didn't really sell anything, and I was totally okay with that. My goal for the day was not to like make a certain amount of money, not to sell a certain amount of items. Well, actually it was. My goal was to sell one item. I just wanted to get rid of one thing in my inventory. I'm getting a call. Papa, we want full blubber. Yes. Okay, bye. I basically brought everything I had made in the last 6 months. That included sort of the standard things I've been making, like big dinos. I had my pickle jar, frogs. I did bring Pierre from my Woobles kit with no instructions video. As you can see, I still have him, so he did not go anywhere, but he didn't seem to mind. And I thought I was maybe breaking a rule or something by bringing Pierre, but it says on the Woobles website that you can sell any finished Woobles you make as long as it's in small quantities and you credit the Woobles. So I think that's pretty cool for like a company. Get this dino back up here. To say, yeah, you can sell things that you make with our kits and our patterns. One thing I brought that I did not think was going to sell at all was a red knit hat. I think I might have a picture of it, or maybe a reel. Passionate Kelsey's double-stranded knit beanie pattern. She's got a tutorial on her YouTube, and I have put a link to the tutorial video in the description below. I knit this when I was in Nevada last summer, actually. Just something to do with my hands while I was watching TV with Kyle and his parents. And that was the first item that sold. Like I said, it was cold, it was rainy, and there was a lovely couple came up, and one of the girls decided to buy this hat. And I was so excited, I was so happy. After that, my parents came to visit us and my sister, and they walked around the market with me while Kyle watched the booth, which was very nice of him. Kyle was an MVP in this experience. I, told him that I needed help, and like, he's my boyfriend, of course he's gonna help, but he just was ready to go. And every other market I've been talking about doing with him, he's like ready to go do a bunch of unpaid labor. I would pay him if he'd let me and help me out, and I just really appreciate it. So thank you, my love. About an hour after that, we got a visit from my friend Rebecca and her boyfriend Joe, and they ended up going home with one of my little pickle guys. Focus on the pickle, please. I don't know why, but when I first started crocheting, I just got this idea in my head that everybody was obsessed with pickles, and like pickles were the trendy food thing, and I don't know why. No one gave me that impression. Like, I didn't see things for pickles around, but I just got really excited and made so many of them. So I have a ton of pickles. I then had a lovely person come up to me, and I don't know their pronouns either, so I'm just going to use they. This person was really friendly. They lived near the area and had come out for a walk, and they actually made polymer clay jewelry and did beading, and they were saying, like, you know, I don't have a lot of money, but I would love to trade if you'd like. One of the other things I had made were a bunch of these tiny granny square earrings with sock yarn. I'm really happy with how these came out. I need to make a pair for myself because I have put them all in these little card things to sell. And this person wanted to trade some of their beaded jewelry for a pair of my granny square earrings, and I thought that was totally fair, totally cute, so they took some of those home. We had a lovely lady buy one of my little mushrooms. I had one of these with a smile embroidered on it. This is just a plain one, and she took that home. And then for our final sale, we met a little group of people, and one of the lads brought a frog, a little green froggy, and a bat. I love this bat. I just made this one to replace the one that I had sold because it is so cute, and it was still up on my Etsy. Speaking of which, if you want any of these plushies that I am showing you behind me, pretty much all of them are on my Etsy, and I'm going to be adding more soon. So feel free to have a look. That link is in the description below. And I think with those like 5 items, those were our total sales for the day. About 2:30, I started getting cold and decided I wanted to go home. So Kyle and I headed out, and then we went and ate ham with my family for Easter. Overall, we brought a ton of items, I don't know how many, and we sold 5 and made about $50. And for my first market, for my first time ever trying to sell my art, I was ecstatic. I feel like that was really nice. My goal overall was to sell 1 item, and selling 5 and making $50 was so cool. Just so nice. A really wonderful surprise. So I am really excited to do my next one. I am hoping to make more in sales because the market that I've signed up for next over the summer did have a $50 fee. So hopefully I can make more than that this next time and just get more of my little plushies out into the world. I think that would be a lot of fun. Have you ever done any kind of art market or tried to sell anything that you make? I would love to hear about your experiences. I think that's gonna wrap up our video for today. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're interested in market prep, I'm probably going to be doing some more videos because I have a new big market coming up in July. All my links are in the description, including my Etsy, my socials, my Poshmark if you want to shop my closet. All the patterns that I specifically reference will be in the description as well. Okay, be brave and do your best. Thanks for watching.